Yeah, good. Okay.
What? Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
I guess the rest of the giant skeleton should have been our first clue. Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged! You seek what is mine! What was right? Your actions speak for themselves. You set free souls that hid from me, that stole from me, and if the dwarves sealed their own fate. And now, here you are again. Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken. Abidin did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy. The least I could do for ending his life. I called the moon down to me, Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not. In his madness, he splintered the moon. But it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward... In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself. The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach. When I called down Ioni brother, they remained silent. Even Abidin. He knew, but he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. That time has been forgotten now. And so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact. No! He cannot know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. In those times, he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body. Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal. For we agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly, but in this matter there was no other choice. He understood that as well as I would have stopped it if I could. But by then it was too late. You may ask. Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher. Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. You have seen it plague. Consider the old Watcher who inherited or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed, or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all, or the former Crucible Knight whose political embarrassment embittered him against the organization whose ideals. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget. For some, perhaps, even when problems have run their course,
Philosopher.
memory can be the stone that sinks you. Your past has not overwhelmed. Wait, was there something else, mortal? It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truth. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common... Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. They would have destroyed themselves in the end. You need only look to the history of your own civilization. How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the... I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve... The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed, the other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them. I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity. What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that I took them in, gave them new purpose. They were his once, I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his, but he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things, I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back. I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together. Speak your mind. Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal. And what if I did, mortal? It does him. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten. It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world. And the death. Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace. Memory deceives. It distorts. The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand enough, you may ask. The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand. He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions. Yes. Whatever he was to me, I knew he opposed what I intended. That he would wish to preserve what I meant to destroy. But I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never, because it might cause him to. No, mortal. Better that we. What happened once must. You may ask. On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant. Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the Eyeless shall rest once more. Even if it is as you say, there is nothing. The Eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry. Your determination is commendable, but the Eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck. I will give you what aid I can. I bade the Eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione brother. Know too that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it, if you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be. I know of one way, but only from the center of the lion's den. Only with their master's hammer. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do. And I will see you through when the time comes. If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the Eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any Eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
Okay, let's explore first. Where does this lead me? Okay. Okay.